Hello. Welcome back to my unfiltered podcast, To Be Free, a podcast that illuminates the pathway to true freedom. It's me, your host, Laura Jane Haver. I am a passionate freedompreneur and freedom coach, here to light the path forward as you create a life of pure, authentic, heart and soul aligned freedom. Thank you so much for tuning in with me today. I am just so beyond grateful that you're here with me. So, today I'm inspired to talk about how freedom looks different for every single person on earth, but feels the same. But before we talk about what a life of freedom looks like on the outside, let's first focus on our inner world, because we can't even manifest freedom in our external reality until we manifest it within ourselves, because freedom begins from within us. As within, so without. Our external world is a mirror reflection and energetic projection of our inner world. And our inner world is made up of our inner vibrations, our feelings, beliefs, thoughts, judgments, self-conception. And all of these vibrations, alongside where we give our attention and focus to, creates our perception of our outer world. They create our reality. And if we aren't free from within because we're holding on to inner vibrations that resonate with the opposite of freedom, maybe a feeling of not being worthy of something we truly desire, or a limiting belief around it not being realistic or possible for us, then we won't be living a life of freedom. We will feel trapped, suppressed, constricted, limited, and anchored down in our life, which is an energetic projection of what we're holding within, of what's happening within us. But the great news is that we all have the power to heal, shift, and alchemize the vibrations we hold within us. We have the power to reactivate the freedom frequency within ourselves by healing our blocks, limiting beliefs, past wounds, fears, and the heavy programming and conditioning anchoring us down into a very restrictive, limiting paradigm. And it all begins with being honest with ourselves and becoming conscious of all the ways we are not currently free, and immersing ourselves in the deep inner healing to unshackle ourselves and lift the anchors. You have to start telling yourself a totally different, more empowering story about what is realistic, possible, or logical. Because these stories are just limiting beliefs based on what you've been conditioned and programmed to believe is realistic, possible, or logical according to the majority who are trapped in a limiting paradigm. Whatever your greatest dreams or desires are, those are messages from your higher self and the cosmos. And not only are they possible for you, but they are meant to be pursued by you. You are meant to bring them into reality. It's your calling. So shift the narrative to something like, this is my calling. I am making this my reality, and my manifestations are an unstoppable force. And to be free from within, you have to heal the limiting beliefs that you have to or should be living a certain way, and that there are certain rules that you have to follow, because there are no rules. Those are just limiting, disempowering beliefs inherited from society, family, and the mainstream matrix. And to be free from within, you have to heal the inner self-doubt and stories of incapability and unworthiness. Worthiness is just another story we tell ourselves based on our beliefs about ourselves. You are worthy just as you are right now. There are no prerequisites to being worthy. You were born worthy. That's it. And you have to stop associating your worth with a certain external condition, such as you're only worthy if you have a fancy job title or if you have other people's approval. In fact, you have to stop seeking external approval and focus solely on inner approval, because that's all that matters. And to be free from within, you have to heal those overly conditioned ego fears. It's those fears that feel like they are there to keep us safe, but they really just hold us back. Like the fear of leaving the comfort bubble, fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of rejection, or fear of change. You have to start using these fears as fuel because fear serves a purpose. We are here to conquer our fears as a warrior so that we can evolve. And on the other side of fear lives freedom. And to be free from within, you have to learn how to stop being a prisoner to your past wounds, your past challenges, and your failures. You learn to alchemize your pain into power, your triggers into teachers, your failures into enlightened redirections, and your breakdowns into breakthroughs. And to be free from within, you have to heal the societal conditioning and program beliefs that aren't serving you anymore and don't align with your greater visions and desires. This is the mainstream outdated programming and conditioning that keeps most people following a linear mainstream path that the majority are taking. The path that keeps you playing small and settling for less than your potential and for less than what you want. For example, let's say you dream of running your own business and you hear the call to leave your draining job that doesn't inspire you to pursue freedompreneurship. And intertwined with this dream and desire, you also have a burning desire to move to a new city or move abroad, start your business, and create a life of location, financial, and time freedom. But you are still holding on to the program belief that you inherited, that you must work for a company Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, to make a stable, successful living. Or you believe you have to pay your dues and earn your stripes before you can earn your freedom at retirement. Or you believe you have to stay in the place you're in to ensure you don't let anyone down or lose any friends. Or maybe you believe you have to stay in your current job or industry to fit into society and gain the approval of others. Or you're holding on to the belief that you have to rely on a corporation or company to pay you a paycheck every other week in order to create financial abundance. Then all these beliefs, all these limiting beliefs, will block your higher calling and desires from manifesting no matter how much you dream about this totally different paradigm, no matter how much action you take towards it. Because these deeply programmed beliefs are held within your subconscious mind. And this keeps you shackled to the old paradigms. And those beliefs need to be seen, healed, and alchemized so that you can manifest your life of freedom. As you believe, you perceive, and you receive. All that we manifest in our lives begins with our beliefs. Our beliefs, alongside our feelings, create our reality. Our beliefs about ourselves, our world, our limitations, and our potential. It's not just our thoughts that create reality. It's our beliefs. Beliefs are thoughts, fueled by emotion, attention, repetition, and devotion. And we all carry programmed mainstream limiting beliefs that can hold us back in life. And these are beliefs carved into our subconscious through group thought and collective consciousness ever since childhood, when our minds were like sponges. And these beliefs dictate what life on earth is supposed to be like, or what path we should be following, or what path is acceptable, logical, possible, or realistic. And there are so many limiting beliefs around who we need to appear to be to fit in and be accepted by mainstream society. There are also so many conditioned rules around what success should look like, which is so outdated and so cookie cutter. There is just so much unhealed programming and conditioning going on collectively and individually that is holding the majority in a very restrictive realm where people are giving up on their true desires, visions, and dreams and settling for mediocrity. And I forget where this quote comes from, but I always resort back to it. We are born into mastery and we settle for mediocrity. And no one chooses mediocrity. They settle for it because that's what the majority are doing. But we aren't here to settle, and definitely not for mediocrity. We are here to break the cycles, shift the paradigm, revolutionize, and step into sovereignty and mastery. We aren't here to just get by and survive and dream of freedom at retirement. We're here to thrive and create freedom in our life right now. We're here to be free right now. And when we become conscious of this and driven by this desire for freedom, we can begin healing from the inside out. And once we start healing and lifting the anchors and transmuting our limiting beliefs, fears, and doubts, we can begin to feel the freedom frequency oscillate within us. It can make us feel anxious at first because it's so different than the dense energy of being suppressed, shackled, and restricted in the old paradigm. The freedom frequency is expansive, heart opening, light, and airy. It's a beautiful natural energy. You feel limitless and so aligned with your higher calling and your true north. You're spreading your wings and following all that truly lights you up. You are in the space of I get to do this and I choose this. Over and over again, I choose this because this is my greatest dream coming true. And freedom is abundance. The freedom frequency allows you to be anywhere you choose, creating whatever you want to create, all while you're manifesting your highest visions and greatest desires with confidence and grace. And you feel like you can take up unlimited space and be your true, authentic, unfiltered, unmasked self. You are living and speaking your truth. When you are living on the freedom frequency, you know that you have the freedom to follow your own unique path as a trailblazer and pursue your greatest visions, dreams, and desires at any given moment in time. You know you don't fit in a one-size-fits-all box, and you don't belong in a mainstream cage. You know you were born for greatness beyond where you have been conditioned to settle. You see beyond the paradigm and restrictive realm that the majority of society is anchored in. And you know you always have a choice of free will. You remember your innate, God-given free will, and you use it daily to create your life of freedom. This is inner freedom projecting outwards. So, how does this manifest as a life of freedom on the outside? What does a life of freedom look like? Well, there's no one way it looks because this manifests differently for every single person on earth. Because we are all so completely different and have different callings, dreams, and desires. A life of freedom will look different for every single individual around the world. But similar themes of what a life of freedom looks like. When you are on the freedom frequency, you are doing the soul-aligned work that lights you up. It doesn't feel like work. It's heart-aligned creating. You choose it, and it's in alignment with your true north. And you have freedom to do whatever you want, whenever you want, wherever you want. You don't ask anyone else for approval. You have location freedom. You're not handcuffed to a place in space. And you have total freedom of time, space, and energy. You're living in your dream location, the place in space that feels like home to your heart, surrounded by beautiful, high vibrational, empowering community. And you have financial freedom. Financial freedom is where you aren't dependent on a corporation or government for income. You create your own revenue streams. And money and freedom are intertwined because you can't have freedom without money on our 3D material planet. And to be free is to stop living and working for someone else's dream and to begin living and working for your own greatest dream. But once again, this can all manifest totally different for each person. For example, for me, my freedom is not being anchored to one single place and not being dependent on an employer. My freedom is working remotely from anywhere in the world. Specifically right now, I love living in Costa Rica with my family, with my husband and my sweetest baby boy, where I work 4 days a week for about 4 to 5 hours a day on my own radically aligned coaching business, traveling with my family to beautiful places like Paris or Portugal, working on creative projects, writing, connecting with beautiful like-minded individuals, and spending most of my days with my husband and baby boy, and lots of time outside in the sun in nature. But not everyone wants to live abroad, nor travel around, nor start their own coaching business. For some of you, freedom may be to live on like a homestead ranch where you grow your own food and have lots of cows and chickens and horses, living off grid in total peace, maybe raising a big family while running your own radically aligned business. For others, freedom might look similar to mine. You may feel the most free by being a digital nomad, running an online business, traveling all over the world with no one place anchoring you down. Your freedom is found by not being tied down to land. Freedom to you is to be able to pack up, adventure, and explore wherever and whenever you freely choose. Freedom may be moving to a tropical place, teaching yoga abroad, opening a surf shop, and hosting transformational health and wellness retreats. Freedom might be to become an author and spend time writing in your beautiful at-home office in your favorite city in the world, writing during your most inspired hours. Or maybe you write books while traveling the world from little street cafes, turning your words into medicine, using the world as inspiration. And actually, I love writing and I love traveling. And I have a vision of spending time this fall in my favorite city of Paris, just writing and creating at my favorite little street cafes. And to me, that is just, so much freedom. Freedom to you may be cooking and creating new recipes every day as an online food blogger, or opening a restaurant and following your dream of being a world-renowned chef. Freedom might be following your love and passion for holistic living, nutrition, and starting your own private holistic healing or coaching practice where you help others heal their bodies, minds, and spirits. Or freedom may be to spend your days creating a new technology or product that you know will change the world. You see it, you have the vision, it's your obsession, your higher calling, and your mission. There are truly infinite pathways to freedom that you could be called to take and manifest. The key is tuning into your heart, listening to your intuition, and knowing what your burning desire is, knowing what you really want, and then shifting your beliefs and feelings for that desire so that your beliefs and feelings empower you to manifest all that you want, which leads you to your freedom. This requires the inner healing to free yourself from within, to heal and alchemize your blocks, limiting beliefs, programming conditioning, self-doubt, and the fears anchoring you down into the restrictive realm. And this is the transformational work I lead my clients through. And my private mentorship program is currently open, which you can find at laurajanehaver.com/mentorship. I also have an online academy launching next month that is an embodiment of my highest service to those who hear the call to create a radically aligned life of freedom. It's a self-paced course with 8 segments, and it contains intuitive teachings, revelations, and workbooks to help you take the steps to free yourself from within to create your life of freedom. And in this course, I am including everything that has helped me create my freedom over the past 5 years. And you can sign up for access to the course at laurajanehaver.com/academy. And with that, thank you so much for tuning in with me today. I am beyond grateful that you're here with me. Until next time.